Welcome back to another episode of the Builder's Playthrough. Last episode was based on building a home for our friend Noodle, the axolotl. With that being said, I think it turned out amazing. As you could probably tell from the title, today our goal is going to be building a marketplace in our city. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start building it because I've already gathered up a ton of wool and materials, which you're probably seeing now, and let's go ahead and start with the stalls. Starting off in the marketplace, I wanted to just get a basic layout put down. So to do this, we took some stripped spruce, some fences, and we just kind of placed staggering stall areas. After adding in this layout, I wanted to completely build 2 of the stalls just to get a general idea of how they're going to look in the end, and if we wanted to make any changes. Following this, I added some plants and just some more greenery to the area, as well as some seats and lampposts just to give more of a liveliness to the area, as it would look in a real city. Feel free to leave a comment down below on what you want to see me add to the city, because we have tons of nooks and crannies that we need to add tiny details in, such as these plants and seats and lamps. Then I decided just to build the full stalls, including borders and roofs. I'm saving the decorating for later just to make sure we get all the shapes correct first and to make sure it's what we want. I'm glad I didn't fully decorate these as I'm building through, just because to me they ended up being too close together and I wanted to make more space in between them so it felt fuller and more realistic. Because in real life, market stalls don't really share roofs and line up perfectly in a grid formation. And oh my gosh, we just found a wandering trader. Let's see what trades he's got. Alright, so after looking at all this guy's trades, I decided we're just going to take all of it. So we're going to go ahead and collect up the blocks and trade it for it all. Now that I have all the materials, we're going to go ahead and trade for all these microblocks that the Wandering Trader has for us. We got really lucky with this guy because he not only has honey blocks, but he has other stuff like flowering azalea bushes, which are really good for decoration. Here I'm showing you guys a really sped up version of myself doing the interiors of the stalls. This is because they took absolutely forever to build, and honestly I went through a lot of variations, but in the end we ended up with a really nice version and I'm really proud of how these look. And don't worry, because we're going to be doing a whole cinematic viewing after we build all this. But for now, let's just enjoy the building process. I don't believe this. First we had a wandering trader spawn in, and now we have an undead skeleton horse army that spawned in. This marketplace is just drawing in all the mobs, and I'm so excited. So to start off, we have a quick walkthrough of how I'm setting up these armor stands in our marketplace. First I get the Statues V2.10 book, and I literally just get this by renaming a signed book to Statues, and it automatically changes up for us. Then I go into the book and I'm able to make the base plate of this armor stand invisible. Then I go into the book again and I enable the ability for the armor stands to have arms. After this, I go through the book again and I'm able to go through a list of preset positions which allow me to make the armor stand pose. I'm also able to change this up with X and Y coordinates to customize it more personally, but I don't want to do that because we're going to be going through a lot of trial and error and I just want to keep it simple in case we mess up. To start this off, before we do anything too crazy, I want to point out that all of these people are members of the Discord and our community, and if you'd like to be involved in this world, make sure to join our community yourself. You can do that by subscribing and joining the Discord. The idea here is that everyone has their own microblock as their skull, and I kind of picked these out just based on the theme of their stall, or just the kind of vibe that they give, or if their theme is a certain color, maybe I matched it to a color. Basically, the microblocks on the heads are just kind of meant to look cool. The real interesting part is that the items everyone is holding is the currency that they're using to trade at their stalls. I let everyone pick their own, that's why you see some like turtle eggs and enchanted golden apples, but some people didn't really have a preference, so I just picked things that suited them or the theme of their stall. Anyways, with that being said, we did start with the heads and the items in their hands, and then we go back through and add armor on all of them, But all in all, I think this looks amazing and I'm really happy with the end result. Except, this isn't quite the end result, because after we do all the armor, I go back and I add a little more detail into the area. First, we start off by doing some custom trees, which you're probably seeing right now, but I also went through and added some lighting, some just clutter like barrels and chests, because it is a market, there's going to be a lot of items everywhere, a lot of storage, and it's just going to look very busy. So I also went through and dirtied up the paths a bit. I did this just by throwing buttons, stone pressure plates, and some stairs into the walkway area, like we've done throughout the whole town so far. Alright, so now that we finished the main project of this episode, we're gonna go around the town and touch up a couple things. To start off, we need to grab some name tags because I want to go around the town and rename a couple of our armor stands and replace the heads with Microblocks. A while back, I had a custom skull data pack on the world, and I still have it, but I'm not going to use it. I prefer the Microblocks because they're easier, and honestly, it just kinda is cool to see those different blocks throughout the world more. It makes it feel more like Minecraft and less like a multiplayer server with a ton of plugins on it. But yeah, we're going to be going around the town, changing up a couple things, and just finishing off the episode by doing this. It also gives me a chance to show off some of the less visited areas, and I just think it's going to be fun to show you guys around. The area we're starting off at and decorating right now is kind of my first marketplace attempt. It's more of a mini marketplace with the 3 stalls, and I really like how it turned out, but it gave me a lot of the motivation and inspiration I had to make the marketplace for this episode. Then we follow up and get to work at the quarry, and honestly I've just loved adding the details in this space. It makes it a lot more lively, and it just looks so cool. Following this, I headed back to the entrance of the castle where I wanted to add a statue to guard the area. I came up with this design on my own, and it's not great, but it's my first time creating a statue of my own, and I like how it turned out. Then I added a tavern for all the gatekeepers and guards in the area, somewhere they can kinda take their breaks and just hang out. And then, I'm not really sure what this last part is supposed to be, but I decorated the area with some moss and grass and nice little potted plants. We're eventually going to be putting armor on all these armor stands, so I'm thinking I might make this like an armory entrance area, but this is just a little detail I added. It's going to be decided later on what it is for sure. And finally, I wanted to add a couple more fields into the world because we've been lacking in the countryside a bit, and I honestly just love making these. They liven up the area, and they look gorgeous. So while we're finishing off the episode here, I want you guys to take a minute and just enjoy these time lapses of some fields being built, because honestly, they're just really fun to build, and I didn't really know where to squeeze them in the episode, so enjoy! If you guys stuck around this long, thanks for watching, but we have some big plans coming in next episode. We're going to be doing something I don't believe anyone's attempted before. We're going to be jumping from day 1500 to over day 3000. This is because I plan to import 2 of my giant cities from Minecraft Bedrock worlds into this world, so we're going to balance out the day count, and we're going to have 3 cities to work on, not just 1. That way we don't get tired, we don't get bored, no burnout, and we honestly are just going to have a great time building in this world. I don't really care if this is considered cheating or not, because the point of this world is to have fun, and I want to have all my builds in one world, so that's what we're going to be trying to do, and hopefully all goes well. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.